Today I am going to explain merge sorted arrays. In the problem, they have given some parameters. In the nums1, it is an array of integers with length of m plus n, where first m elements are the elements to be merged and the last n elements are set to 0. M, an integer representing the number of elements in num1 to be merged, and nums2, an array of integers with a length of n, an integer representing the number of elements in num2. It has to return, the function should not return anything. Instead, it should modify nums1 in a place to contain the merged elements. What they are telling means, here I am reading the number of elements of m, the number of elements of n. In the number, they are telling like in the number one only we have to store the length of m plus n, and in the first iteration I'm storing the m elements. In the remaining place of n, we are storing the 0 elements. In the nums2 array, I'm storing the n elements. Here we have to take the length of m plus n because see, here they have given, in the first array they have given 3 elements, in the second array they have given 3 elements. The main aim is we have to store the merges sorted array in the nums1 array only. Here we do not take a extra array to store the merge sorted array. In the num1 only we have to store, so we have to take extra space of m plus n. See, if we take only m elements in the if we store only m elements, if we do not store 0 elements, 0 in the extra spaces, it leads to exception, a runtime error. Like see, if I run the code, it leads to array index of bound exception 3 out of bounds for length of 3. Means here we have some extra 3 elements, but we have only 3 length. That's why it's showing that error. So we see, if we take only 3 length, there are no elements, there are no space to store extra elements in the nums of 1. So I'm taking the m plus n in the first array only, in the nums of 1 array. And here I'm comparing the, here we have to merge, it is the function to merge the two sorted arrays. In the high pointer, I'm taking the last element of the num1. It is store the elements of num1 array, and in the box 1, the j element is stored the last element of the nums. It takes, it points to the last element of point 2, it points to the last element of the kth element. Here in the while loop, if I is greater than or equal to 0 and j is greater than equal to 0, if the condition is true, then only we come into the next condition. Here we are comparing the last element of nums1 array and the last element of nums of j. See, is the nums of 1 and is the nums of 2. We are comparing these two elements. If 3 is greater than, if nums of 1 is greater than nums of 2, it will store the nums of 1th element to the nums of 1 of kth variable. After storing, it will decrement to the 1 position. I is decrement to the 1 position, and k is also decrement to the 1 position. If it is if nums of 2 is greater, store the nums of 2 of the jth element to the kth position. If we have some extra elements, store the nums of two elements to the nums of 1 of the kth position. This is how we store the two arrays into the must sorted array in the nums1 elements nums1 array only without taking extra array to store it. The time complexity of this problem is big of m plus n.